going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm obviously going to be talking about that now infamous Oscar slap that went down between Will Smith and Chris Rock. You guys, there is so much to break down here about this slap. It is not even funny. I'm going to break down the details of the situation. I'm going to break down the aftermath. I'm going to break down the conversations that are happening on social media. Also, we have some updates as of today. We have contradicting reports on where Will Smith and Chris Rock currently stand. P. Diddy says they're fine. Other sources told TMZ they haven't spoken. And also, even more breaking news, the Academy has issued a statement and they are saying that they will now officially investigate Will Smith and his actions. So there is just so much to break down here. I cannot wait to get into it with you guys. But first, because this is the first pop-up of the week, I want to check in and see how the House of Hill is doing. So make sure you guys let me know how you are down below. Me personally, I am currently recovering from my girls trip this weekend. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I went to Seattle, Port Angeles, and Forks, Washington to celebrate one of my childhood best friends getting married. We had the absolute best time. I just can't even describe it to you guys. So much laughing, a few tears, of course, lots and lots and lots of fun. I actually did do my best to vlog, so I'm gonna try to put that vlog together for you guys by the end of this week because I really want to share the fun with you. Also, for my fellow Twilight fans, you are going to die. It was so much fun. I cannot recommend going to Port Angeles and Forks, Washington enough. I cannot wait to share it with you guys, so definitely gonna try to get that vlog out by the end of the week. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna be recovering. I am definitely riding the struggle bus today, but thankfully we have some good celeb tea to discuss and we're gonna get into all of it. And don't worry, straight to the tea, people. I'm actually gonna get to unwrapping the facts. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this intro, so you know what to do. Make sure you help out your fellow straight to the tea people and drop this time code down there in the comments. And without further ado, let's get to unwrapping this major situation that went down and get to unwrapping these Will Smith and Chris Rock facts. Okay, so starting from the top, you all obviously already know that last night the Oscars took place, and during the Oscars, there was a major moment that went down between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now, this major moment happened when Chris Rock was on stage presenting the award for Best Documentary Feature, and in doing so, he made a few jokes about some celebrities in the audience, including Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm gonna go ahead and play the joke that Chris Rock made about Jada. That way you guys can hear it for yourselves in case you missed it.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now, as you can see by the clip, Will Smith initially is laughing at all of Chris Rock's jokes. He even laughs at the joke that he makes about Jada. Meanwhile, Jada, you can definitely see she rolls her eyes. She looks visibly upset. She looks visibly irritated. And it's after Will Smith sees Jada's reaction that he then gets upset and he walks up to Chris and slaps him across the face. Now, during the broadcast here in the US, we did not hear the audio that Will Smith was necessarily yelling back at Chris Rock. Of course, we could all read his lips, but we weren't able to hear it. But in the raw footage that aired overseas, you can hear what Will Smith is yelling at Chris Rock, and you can hear that he is incredibly upset, and he tells Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out of his effing mouth.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay?
Now, according to Variety, after this Will Smith moment happened, at the next commercial break, his publicist immediately went up to him and started speaking to him. In fact, it's reported that Will's publicist went up to him during every single commercial break after that moment. We know that Denzel Washington went up and spoke to Will Smith after the moment happened, as well as producers from the show. Actually, it's reported that producers went up and spoke to Will Smith right before he was given the award for Best Actor. Yes, in case you missed it, Will Smith did end up taking home an Oscar despite the altercation he had with Chris Rock, and during his speech he did get emotional and he essentially said that life was imitating art. He talked about how the character he played, which was Richard Williams, was a quote fierce defender of his family, and Will Smith went on to say quote, I look like the crazy father just like they said about Richard Williams, followed by quote, love will make you do crazy things. Now obviously after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on national television and won an Oscar, people had a lot to say online, and in fact people are still talking about it online. For Kim K, you guys, she was on Good Morning America and she's apologizing for her very controversial and inappropriate comments she made about women in business, and no one even cares about Kim K's apology because we cannot stop talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock. Oh, it just kills me because you know that Mama Chris and Kim are probably not pleased that her apology is not being heavily discussed. But anyway, back to the slap and back to things that people are saying online. Number one, people were discussing obviously what Will Smith did and whether or not it was right for him to defend his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. It is worth mentioning that yes, Jada Pinkett Smith does have a condition. She has alopecia. That is why she has such short hair. So people, of course, are debating on whether or not his actions were justified because he was defending his wife, or if it was wrong for Will Smith to go up and literally assault somebody on national television and on a stage like the Oscars. People were also discussing whether or not that moment was staged or planned, and I will say this was compounded by a couple of things. One, I think people might have thought it was staged because Will Smith referenced life imitating art in his acceptance speech for his Oscar, and two, his Instagram post before the Oscars was a little eerie. He captioned a video of him and Jada where at first they're posing and smiling, and then there were several pictures of them making funny faces. He captioned this video saying, "Me and Jada got all dressed up to choose chaos," so you can see why people are definitely referencing that in their arguments when they say that they think this moment was staged. In addition to that, people also discussed if whether or not Will Smith should be charged with assault, which by the way, LAPD has already released a statement and said that Chris Rock is not pressing any charges. But again, this has not stopped people from debating of whether or not he should be. One new addition and some breaking news that happened right before I sat down to film this pop-off, the Academy did release a statement. I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you guys. And they are opening a formal review of Will Smith and what they're saying is his Oscar slap. In the statement that the Academy released, they said, quote, "The Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith at last night's show. We have officially started a formal review around the incident and will explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law." Continuing on with the conversations that were happening online, Kanye West also got dragged into the conversations, you guys. He was trending as of this morning because people were pointing out how he had a moment on stage with Taylor Swift and how Will Smith's moment with Chris Rock was so much more. You get it. People love to bring up Kanye any chance they can get, and I will say he's been silent so far. So hopefully he stays silent because we all know he does not need to be saying anything on social media, even if people are provoking him. I mean, truly, you guys, I could go on and on with all the different conversations and all of the different debates that are happening with this slap, but moral of the story and what you really need to know is that people cannot stop discussing this, and people are still having a hard time even processing what happened. Now, as far as where Will Smith and Chris Rock stand now, we're getting some contradicting information. As of last night at the Vanity Fair Oscars party, P. Diddy came out and he told Page Six that there is no bad blood anymore between Will Smith and Chris Rock. In fact, he said, quote, "That's not a problem. I can confirm that. It's all love. They're brothers." Meanwhile, TMZ claims they spoke to a separate source with direct knowledge of the situation who says Chris and Will Smith have not spoken since the incident. This TMZ source says that after it happened, Chris was, quote, "stunned and left, quote, shaken and bewildered." The source also clarified that Chris Rock had no idea that Jada Pinkett Smith suffered from alopecia and that he, quote, "doesn't have a mean bone in his body." Then once again, this TMZ source confirmed that while P. Diddy was backstage when the incident went down, the source directly contradicts his claims that Will and Chris are in a good space. This source says there's no way that's true because they have not even spoken. Whew. All right, now that we've discussed all the facts, obviously I have so many thoughts about all of this, and you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am doing a little detox after this weekend because I really had a lot of fun. A lot of libations were consumed, so I'm doing a little detox. So instead of doing a shambong with shams, we're gonna hydrate because I really need it, and honestly, don't we all need a little hydration? So let's just go ahead, grab your water, grab whatever beverage is near you, take a sip, and then let's get to this pop-off. Okay, so I personally was actually on my flight back to LA when the Oscars were on last night, and when I was starting to get notifications that something happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock, I could not get clips on social media fast enough, and you guys, when I finally found it, I was absolutely shook. I could not believe that that happened, and especially hearing the raw audio and seeing how it played out overseas, I mean, I was absolutely stunned. I got that same feeling in the pit of my stomach whenever I see a real intense confrontation in real life. I got super anxious. Like, I literally felt myself starting to get like sweaty and hot. My blood pressure was raised. I just could not believe my eyes. Now, me personally, I did not feel like that moment was staged at all. While I do see where people are coming from with Will Smith's Instagram caption, I see where people are saying, oh my gosh, isn't this suspicious? I personally don't really think it's suspicious. I think it's more ominous because literally Will Smith manifested that he was going to cause chaos. Nowhere in last night's footage am I getting stage vibes because Will Smith literally laughs at what Chris Rock said. He laughed at the joke about Jada, and then you see Jada get visibly upset, visibly annoyed, and clearly she conveyed to Will in that split second how upset she was, which obviously caused him to get up and react. Now, as far as Will's actions and how I feel about them, well, I understand Will's need and desire to want to protect his wife, especially because she does have that condition. I still personally feel like his actions were inappropriate last night. And I also want to put it out there, I really don't think Chris Rock knew that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia. I think if he did know that she had a medical condition, he would have never made the joke. But anyway, back to Will. I know that a lot of people are applauding him online. They're saying that's how you defend your wife. And I totally see where people are coming from on that. I really do. I mean, I think any woman would definitely want her husband to jump to her defense if someone said something offensive. However, I still don't think Will Smith's behavior was appropriate for any situation. I know people are saying it's the Oscars, but I don't think that behavior is appropriate for any situation. Just because someone says something that you don't like or someone says something about you that you don't like doesn't mean that you can get up and hit them. I mean, if I hit someone because they said something that I didn't like or they said something about me that I didn't like, I guarantee you I would not be walking home with an Oscar. My situation would look incredibly different. Again, I can totally see where both sides are coming from. I totally understand both sides of the argument, but me personally, I just feel like the way Will Smith lost his temper was inappropriate. Again, that's just my own personal opinion. It's okay to disagree with it. I just ask that if you do, please do so respectfully. And I want to say, as far as where I think Will Smith and Chris Rock stand now, part of me really wants to believe P. Diddy because I like P. Diddy, and I want to believe that, well, yes, he was backstage when this happened, and then he was this incredible mediator between the two. I just really think that it was way too intense of a moment to be fixed that quickly. I think Chris Rock is probably still in shock. I think he's still probably processing what happened, especially because Will Smith is getting so much praise online. And also, part of me believes that if they did speak and if they were okay and they did have a conversation, that Will Smith would post it on social media. I don't know, I just feel like him and Jada are very open and they do like to confront their problems publicly. So I feel like if Will and Chris had a conversation, we would know about it from Will Smith. Again, just my own personal opinion. I obviously hope at one point P. Diddy can be right and that there will be nothing but love between these two. I just don't think we're at that day right now. Regardless, I think this slap between Will Smith and Chris Rock is going to be something that is going to be talked about forever. Every time now and every year that we're gearing up for the Oscars, this slap is going to be discussed. This slap is going to be played. This slap is going to be remembered, especially because now the Academy is holding the situation under review. Like, I just feel like this slap is going to live in Oscar history forever. So just prepare yourselves every year before the Oscars, you guys. We're going to hear about this slap. It's going to bring up the emotions again. It's going to bring up the debates again. So just go ahead and prepare yourselves now because we know it's going to happen. All right, you guys, those are my thoughts on this now infamous Oscar slap. I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels down below. While you guys are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you guys follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. You guys can also find all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time.